Hello.
Check.
I can hear you about as good as you did the hill climb.
So you can't hear me at all. Dang. Shots are being fired already.
Yeah, so if it gets too loud, just let me know.
All right.
But
I feel like when I talk
Yeah?
on mine, it's loud. Is it loud to you guys?
No?
I don't know.
It's good?
is it about the same as what you can hear now?
I guess it sounds good.
All right. Cool. So,
We're live in Silver Mountain parking lot for Silver Kings 2023. And we just got back from the straight rhythm
Which
in
was
the
sick.
seat, which was sick, yeah. Colton Haker, I think, came away with the win. And watching everybody else was a blast as well. So,
how'd it go for Tristan?
well, Tristan stuffed himself into a log, and they just kicked him out. So apparently they didn't want to watch him anymore. But
On to the next, right?
yeah.
All right. Well, cool. So, you guys raced today. It looked like it went well.
It went better for some than others.
Depends on what you consider well.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, we have Brandon, Chase, and David. Chase Peters and David Burdett.
Correct.
So, you guys have raced this a few times before.
About 5 years or so, 4 or 5 years for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think about the same as Chase. I think maybe you went one more year before me, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, back when it was Sticks and Stones. So, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Is there any of the years that like stick out to you guys as far as being better than others? Is the track starting to improve or?
Everything's changing.
Yeah, it's just evolving into the whole, hard enduro's changing in the U.S., so this whole thing's actually becoming more part of that circuit and whatnot, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So how have you guys have raced, I think, different classes throughout the 5 years or whatever, or however long you guys have done it. How often do you guys race the silver class? Or it's just the last 2 years,
Silver's
right?
kind of new, yeah.
Yeah.
Ever
Okay.
since Inside Enduro took it over. Before it was kind of more like a ABC class. I think women's maybe.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
quite
And like
remember.
a junior, like an
Yeah.
expert for the younger kids.
Yeah. But,
Okay.
And
So-
they're just racing we're all on the same track back then.
yeah, it was a weird
Oh, really?
dynamic.
So it was
There
all the
yeah.
same.
Like, the Saturday you would do 3 laps of like a smaller track,
Yeah.
right? And then if you qualified, it was like top 100 maybe or no 30 or something. We get to ride it with the pros the next day.
Yeah. So
And
unless
then
you
we're
were
on
like the A class riders, like the pro riders, you were like, when the year I raced C class, I got second place. Sandbagger, I know. Hey, this was like 5 years ago. I was worse than I am now, and I'm pretty bad still. So
We're not judging you off of how you rode today, all right? It's
okay,
cool.
okay. In that case, I guess I'm good. Oh yeah, but back in that day though, like got second in C class, and the way that the scoring was weird. It was you had to go through kind of like tonight when they went off of that trailer there. They had the metal frame over the top.
Yeah.
There was a system like that in place, and it was like one power cord ran to it, and we were timed through. You went through it, it marked your time. Right off the bat, one of the kids went around the gate, hit the cord, destroyed the scoring right off the bat. They're paper scoring the rest of the day. And that night, I'm like, I got second place, but it says I didn't finish top 30 overall. I'm like, that's kind of bizarre. I'm like, I think I should have been like fast enough to have been top 30 to qualify to race the next day and Sunday. And no, that wasn't the case. That year, Dave over here,
I got actually a DNF.
DNF.
Well, they let me race. I raced all the
Yeah.
races, and then it turned
He
out
raced
a
the next day.
DNF. But yeah, it was it wasn't the best of a system.
They were still figuring it out.
Yeah,
The people who were putting it on, I mean, it was a family kind of putting it on versus, a company and all that, all the support behind it.
Yeah.
It's literally like a family dynamic of them working on it. The guys over at Power Sports Unlimited, shout out to them. They helped and they put in a lot of man hours on this mountain to create it, to get it to this point.
Which
we're
is
at
where
now.
it's at right now. I mean, they
Yeah.
started this, it's not like Inside Enduro came in and then did it all.
Yeah.
Those guys started this race, which is awesome. And
Yeah.
now it's just evolving, it's into someone else's hands. But they would throw us in. It was funny because then you would be racing that Saturday, and they'd put everybody, like, say, on the gold track. Everybody would race that. It wasn't like you race this. It was every A, B, C. It didn't matter. You're all on the gold. Good luck.
Yeah.
Was there?
Could you imagine if they had all the bronze
it.
riders out there tomorrow?
That's it.
On
That's
top
what they
of it
did.
all,
That
yeah.
would be insane.
It wasn't as hard. Don't get me wrong. It
Yeah.
wasn't as hard, but it was still. It's like, it was like, there you go. Good luck. First climb, you're
Bottlenecks.
done.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everything.
Yeah. It was still fun though. It was a good time.
That's wild. So like, everybody being on the same track. Was there as many pros back then as there is now? You think?
No, totally different.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
it?
There was. I mean, your local guys who were fast, but like, I mean, that year that I got second in C, I was battling it out with Coleman Johnson.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was like a very vivid thing for me for that race because him and we're back and forth on it, and yeah, I mean,
16-year-old Coleman.
yeah, 16-year-old exactly. Kid was cooking.
Yeah, he's gotten
But-
pretty fast, hasn't he?
Yes, he has, but yeah, there wasn't like Colton and Cody and all them coming out to that.
I think
It's
he had
just-
Tristan, maybe 5 years ago when he was young.
Maybe at the
He
beginning
was
of
super,
him.
and I remember watching a video of him going up the creek with like Keith Curtis.
Mhm.
I remember seeing that. And actually, I think that was Colton was here too.
Was
that was
he?
what Dan was here when I met you. I think I was that actually might have been my first year.
Okay.
I seen those guys. I didn't even know who they were. No clue that back then. I didn't even.
Yeah.
My buddy Dan knew who all they were, but yeah. But you didn't have the races like these guys now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool now.
So we'll come back to like how Silver Mountain is here now in a little bit, but I'm always curious because of how Brandon and I got into dirt biking so late. I'm always curious how people got into dirt biking. So maybe Chase, I want to know how you got into dirt biking and how you are where you are now. Like what got you started?
Yeah, so my parents bought my brother and I a dirt bike back in the day. We were real young. I think it was like a Honda XR 80 or something like that. We lasted maybe 3 months of dirt biking. In that process, I was in the hospital, I think, a couple times. My brother was just gung-ho about jumping, and Dad was like, we're done. We're selling them. You kids are going to die. So that was the beginning and the end of dirt biking real quick, maybe at like 8 years old. And I think it was maybe when I was 16 to 18, somewhere in that range, I ended up buying a dirt bike and just putt around, kind of get out in the woods. And my brother, he went to Japan and or maybe it was China for work. And I was like, dude, like you got to get a dirt bike too. Like let's go dirt biking. Let's race the Desert 100. Like Dad grew up racing that thing. Let's race it. And so while he was over there, I found him I think a WR 426, just a turd. I thought it was a great bike. Dad rode WRs. It's a WR. Man, you're getting a great bike. And yeah, that was like the start of us. First year of getting dirt bikes, we went raced the Desert 100. We thought that was like the mecca of like off-road, which it's grown. It's really cool now. But yeah, it was just jumped right into it. My brother and I pushed each other quite a bit and slowly evolved from thinking like a RMZ 450 with a oversized desert tank and desert IT tires was like the go-to for riding trails and woods and tight single track, to buying a KTM 500 and racing it up here at Silver Mountain for like the start of me.
That had to have been rough.
It was a little rough. It's a big bike, but those were the years I finished it. And, that was the start of like, oh, this is like a whole new thing. I got into, bought a 2-stroke, and here we are now. I dove in deep on the hard enduro. It got even deeper when I met Dave, to the point like he pushed me. I mean, he's a solid rider, as you know, and he pushed me, and we'd go build trails, and it was just like constant back and forth pushing.
Private property trails.
Yeah, private property trails.
Yes, exactly.
We
know a lot
exactly.
of people that own a lot of land.
A lot of land. But I mean, here we are now. Just the steeper, the harder, the more you have to push a bike, the more fun it is. the Sufferfest Type 2 Fun.
Oh, is that
That's
what
I'm
you were
about.
doing today?
Yeah, that I wanted to get my money's worth. That's why I hit the 2 climbs 5 times total. It's an expensive sport. You might as well get your money's
No,
worth.
I shouldn't be saying that. You'd be beating me out there for sure. So, well, that's awesome. It's cool to see how you and your brother kind of evolved on that. I think I met your brother at Desert 100 this
Yep.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool. You guys are pretty close, I'd imagine, through
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that. So, that's awesome. How about you, Dave?
My story's not like that at all. Basically, I had like a Honda 90 my dad found like on the side of the railroad tracks. He works for the Montana Rail Link. This is funny. So he found one of those, fixed it up. I pretty much broke it. I was young, probably like 10, 12 maybe, I don't know. And then he found a Can-Am on the side of the tracks, an old like 1970. I don't know if you guys ever seen those things.
No.
Oh, horrible. But anyways, it barely would run, you know. I'd break it every time. And
Doesn't
then
sound like much has changed.
yeah, some things exactly.
Yeah.
It's just more expensive now. He's not fixing it for me.
Yeah.
And then I didn't really ride for a long time, and I picked it up 6 years ago. I got a 250F for like just riding. I thought it was like for trails and stuff. I had no clue, what I was buying as a race bike. But I rode that for I think a year or two. I did the Silver Mountain on that with the IT Desert tubes in there, fully pumped up, 20 PSI on those things, just getting it, not knowing what I was doing. Met Chase. I seen Chase out there then, I think. And then I'm like, I need more horsepower. So then I got a 450 FX, right?
Makes more sense. Makes more
right?
sense.
Yeah, right. Rode that, and that I barely rode that thing. I actually bought my first 300 like a few months after that. I ran into Colton up at Liberty, and he was laughing at me with my 450 FX, and I'm like, yeah, if I have one of those, I'd probably be a pro, I guess, So I got 300, and yeah, I mean, just kept going from there. I figured out, I'm like, wow, what a handicap this is, But yeah, just kept getting a lot of riding, cutting trail, throwing my bike over stuff. So I
Yeah,
love
that's
it.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, you're definitely doing pretty well out there. So your last year at Silver, you were crowned Silver King,
Yeah.
Silver
Yeah.
Class champ?
Yep, I was, man. I had a really good day. I had a good Saturday. I qualified I qualified really high, so didn't
First
even
row,
expect
right?
that. Yeah, first row for the next day, and then started that day off bad. I fell right off the enduro cross into a hole. I was last, but it just went well. I picked up lines, like literally how me and Chase ride, and we were cutting trail, like just how we ride. What is that noise, right?
I think
that
that's a chainsaw.
Is that a chainsaw?
I really hope that's not what they're doing on that.
They're going to cut the track up. That's how they take it down. Or people are taking it home,
They're like, hey, they're doing a podcast over there.
Yeah.
But literally for like how we ride and whatnot, where it's like, here's the mountainside. Let's try to get up that. That's what it was last year. And, I hit some really good lines. And next thing you know, I was way ahead.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was really surprising, honestly. I mean, I'm a good rider, but it's like there's a lot of good riders out here. I think a lot of people could win this, even tomorrow. It's like it's not like he's gonna win. It's probably like 20, 30 people that could actually win it. Like if they have like a really good day and just pick a couple lucky lines to get around bottlenecks or whatever.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that are, within minutes of each other, and it's just that, like today, prime example, there was people stuck on a hill, and Trey just managed to pick the right lines and make it up the hill first shot, and that saved him, tons of time.
Yes.
So it is kind of crazy to watch that and see how much of that can affect
Dude, it's hard
you.
enduro. One obstacle, all of a sudden you're hooked onto it for like, you're stuck on it 10 minutes,
Yeah.
on something that you shouldn't be that, Chase clears, you clear. It's just, that's how it is. That's what's cool, though. That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
That might be the end of the video.
Yeah, it's all good.
Now we know how long it lasts.
It's all right. Video's cut short. Audio's still going, though, right?
Yeah, we're
All
good.
right.
So, yeah, that's cool. What'd you end up getting last year, Chase?
I think I got like 23rd.
Okay.
Yeah.
How'd your race go? I mean, 23rd, that's still really good.
It's a solid.
Yeah, that's...
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad by any means. I just had some spots where, so Dave's first row, I think I'm like 5th or 6th row. And we get off, we're going, I want to say it was pretty early on, once we hit that side hill section of the course, that it was like you're pushing your bike, you're kind of creating your own trail. It just bottlenecked hard.
Yeah.
And, there's ways around bottlenecks, but I assessed and I said, no, I am not going to push through that bullshit.
Yeah.
It was so rough. It was like a valley section, and there was a bunch of trees and such down in there. And we had just come down this hill, and we're at like one of the low points, and we're going to start climbing out. And we're down there hanging out. People are trying to make it. We're slowly making our way. Then you're seeing some guys they notice this bottlenecking way back. They're making their way across the top. And all of a sudden, people are picking up lines, picking up places, making it past the bottleneck, and you're just like down there, just gritting your teeth a bit, like, oh man, this sucks. But
bottlenecks are the worst.
They are.
They take up so much time, and you don't really even realize it. Like, you're just sitting there trying to get through things, and you don't realize how much time you're wasting just sitting there in a bottleneck.
Yeah.
Like a guy that's in the front and went through it clear, like he's gaining so much time on everyone.
Yep. Oh yeah, and that's exactly what happened with my situation. Is they're in a bottleneck, and I finally like broke free.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to deal with no one.
Yeah.
It's just see you later.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine it's not all down to just picking right lines and picking, like, there's been some serious effort to get to where you're at. There's tons of time on your bike. There's tons of time conditioning. Well, aside from Brandon, he doesn't condition.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's tons of time invested into today.
Oh, yeah.
Or tomorrow, I mean. So, I mean, it's pretty incredible to see where you guys are at and just watch all you guys racing. It'd be better if I was going against you because I really wanted that trophy, but maybe next year.
Next year. Yeah.
Next year.
If it wasn't for that wrist, we know you'd won.
Yeah,
and it's all right.
For sure. So.
Thank you for breaking your wrist this year.
Yeah.
That way,
Yes, we appreciate it.
we didn't have to battle against you.
Yeah. So, that's awesome. So today, Dave, kind of describe how you think today's prologue went. It was obviously a short prologue. What was it, like 3.5 miles? Super fast.
I don't even know. Yeah.
3.8, I think, is what they had.
They said he'd finish around 16 minutes, 15 for the fast one. The top guy finished like in 14, which is like he should be riding pro. I feel.
Yeah.
He's cooking.
Like he probably cleaned every single thing really well though.
Yeah.
Which I could see that too. Like I mean, but it's fast. It was just a super fast, very very fast. There was nothing. Even all the single track was very quick. I mean, right? There wasn't. It wasn't there was no single track where you're in second gear. You were in third gear at least, probably. I guess the climb.
Maybe
up,
that little climb.
The climb
first.
at the very very beginning, second gear.
The rest of it, anytime there's open spot, you're hammering.
Yeah.
I think the last road section, I was in 6th gear, full
tap. It was horrible,
tapped.
dude. I hate that.
And I'm
I don't like it.
I couldn't even go any faster on that last road.
Yeah.
I was pinned, tucked as hard as I could.
Yes.
I holding on for dear life.
Yeah.
That's not my style riding. I'm going so fast. If I wreck, it's all bad.
Yeah,
like,
that would hurt.
I got to go to
That's
work
dangerous.
on Monday. Yeah, that's why I don't like the high speed. Like I'm just like, too much consequence for when you do wreck.
Yeah, for sure. And I always think that too. I mean, when I guess it's not the going fast that you get hurt on. It's the stopping really fast is what you get hurt on. But
Exactly.
I think it's Jeremy Clarkston, Top Gear, said something about like, it's not speed that kills you, it's the sudden stop that does.
Yeah, right. So there's some truth to that. But
Jeez, right.
So, this has been a fun experience. I don't know. I mean, it looked like you had done well. You started on first row today?
Third row.
Third row?
Yeah.
Really?
But, I got...
You made some time up then.
I, caught every single person. I think there was maybe one person in the first row that was ahead of me, maybe, at the end. But they weren't that good of riders, though. That's the thing is, like they weren't fast. Don't get me wrong. They were probably all right. But it just... When you're going like that, you don't know who you're going against. And I sat there and watched some people come through, and you could see how fast they were riding when I finished already. Yeah. I'm like, whoa, that guy was fat. Like, he's just, and they're the ones that are up on the top. But But yeah, I mean, I just had a good. When you're in the front, it's the best thing you can do in these types of races.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to deal with everybody. Like that hill littered with people. I mean, you almost get hit. Both you guys almost dealing with that. It changes, like, you know, what you're gonna do. I had no one to deal with. I had to pass some people, but it wasn't crazy amount of people to get around. You know, I
Yeah.
had 8 people total ahead of me
Yeah.
from the start, not 20,
Yeah.
30.
And maybe not even 8 by the time you made it to that hill.
No, and that's not it. Oh, there wasn't. I
No,
literally
I
had
think it was
every
like-
single person almost by the time
Yeah.
there was one person I seen on the top.
Yeah.
And that was it. So it happened really quick. They got caught up through those the first uphill single track on the roots, you know.
Oh yeah.
Hey, speaking of, you guys know the tree and the jump over it?
Yep.
Who hit it?
I had it.
Did you?
It was clogged.
Dude, I
got there.
jumped it, flew over it, and smashed into the tree.
So you guys both hit trees on that?
No, I jumped the tree. I clear it perfect, and then I smashed into the tree that was like past it.
Oh, okay.
It was so funny. I'm like, what the heck, man?
I
Like,
jumped it
got this-
and hit the tree to the left of it. I came off at a little bit of an angle and just shoulder checked and everything.
Jeez,
See,
man.
they were both telling me to hit that line when
It
we
was
were walking
easy.
the course.
Yes.
Thank God there was someone in the way. Otherwise, one of my shoulders probably been taken out by now too.
Hey man, Max Gerson, when he hit it on his video, he made it look super clean.
Yeah, he made it look. It was really easy. You literally go over it. But
Yeah.
I don't know how I even hit the tree. Like, I don't even know. I killed my bike. I smashed it, killed my bike, and had to restart.
Was there anyone bottlenecked on that section at all?
No, there was a guy that I knew that wasn't going to hit that. He was the guy right in front of me, and I'm like, I know he's not going to hit this. Ain't no way. You know, you could just. And he went around, and I'm like, see ya. Nope. And then he passed me, you know, and I got him, but because of that darn tree. But yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
What row were you in, Chase?
I was 1 row behind Dave, so 4th
Okay.
row.
Cool.
Yeah. I had one fast guy to my left. Him and I, we came to agreement at the beginning of the race. It was whoever made it to the log first was the best man.
Yeah.
That log ride, and I was like, I'm gonna kill this guy. I'm gonna take him out. Like I'm going for blood here, and I managed to beat him onto the log. Him and I were really close at the very end. It was those standing up tires. We happened to both jump on either side of one tire and go to the inside, and bang bars there. I got a little thrown off, and I managed to make the pass right as we're going through like that last little IRC tent. And yeah.
Oh, dude, the funny part about that is you guys were like fighting to get on the log. I was up on the start line with Trey at the beginning, and we both looked at each other and we're like, he's like, yeah, I think I'm going to take the left tires. I was like, oh, okay, I'll take the right tires. Both of us just avoiding the log completely. And it just kind of reminded me in my head when he took out Coleman in enduro cross. I was like, oh, I'm sure he just doesn't want to take out another one of his buddies.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, how'd the tires go?
tires were pretty smooth if you
Wasn't
just
bad.
lean back and
Yeah.
kind of just hit it. It wasn't
Right.
too bad.
Nice.
The logs didn't look too slippery either. So
No, they were pretty easy.
I think
Yeah.
some of those bronze riders were making it look a little intense.
They were
but-
making the tires look intense
Yeah.
too. I mean, some of it looked really intense.
Well, I feel like if you were hitting it really close to where the logs were, there was like bigger holes, and they were hitting that with
Oh,
their
yeah.
front tire.
Yep.
So, but yeah, they did make it look quite crazy. Yeah. So, what are you guys expecting for tomorrow?
Shoot, hopefully like about a 4.5 hour race.
From what I heard, so I spoke
Uh-oh.
with Letty. He said they expect the fast guys to finish in 4 hours.
The
Of
fast
silver.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I figured that'd have to be. I mean, judging what we did last year,
Yeah.
and the time that I did on that with what's added on, I feel like that's flying.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like fast.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, this course is like it's so much bigger.
Is it? I
And
thought
with-
it was still close to 20 miles last year.
I don't know if it was close to 20, but like what they have that is added on for like the difficulty sections that we've hit before. We hit the one year. Not all of them, probably. They got some new stuff.
Yeah.
But with those added on, I mean, you're going up through that creek. Even if you had no one dealing with you going up through Milo's, I mean, how long is it going to take you? 15 minutes?
Probably at least.
At
Yeah, at
least?
It-
I mean, that's
yeah.
if you're by yourself.
It's a long
just
creek.
doing it.
And not to speak of, arm pump and all
Right.
that, everything
But
else
you have that
involved
creek.
with
You
that.
have the other creek. You have the rocks.
Yeah.
4 hours is like, man.
You're getting it.
If I get 4 hours, I'm going pro next year. If I get sub 4.
All right, you heard it here first.
And I'll get stuck on that first one.
He's sitting at the finish line at 4 hours. He's like, I got 1 more minute.
Exactly.
That went very well.
So, yeah, I think it'll be a good race tomorrow. I hope that, I mean, it seems like it's going to be pretty good for spectators as well. They have all the maps and everything that you can kind of follow around.
Very cool how they did that.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I'll be able to kind of get to a few different points without having to run too much. So you got that new gear set, so that'll be
Maybe flashy, man.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's going to be good.
It's just high vis.
You know what they say,
I'm
though.
actually like a worker on the hill, basically.
Yeah, right.
Oh. So when you see Dave cutting course, he is not a worker.
I am a worker.
That's one way to do it. I saw that saw in between his number plate and his
I actually
headlight.
took it out. I was going to leave it. I might put it back in. I needed it last year.
Yeah, you know what they say, look pro, ride slow. So now that you're all flashy, might slow you down a little bit.
Man.
But
see.
yeah, no, I think it's going to be a good race.
Yeah.
Hopefully everyone stays safe. But it looks like you might be first row still, you think?
I think second, probably.
Oh, really?
Depending on what, I think, because I think they'll do like 4 people probably. What did they do today?
4.
They did 4 and 3
We were supposed to do 4,
and 2
but
and 1.
yeah, there was plenty of rows that just didn't have people.
Yeah, I thought I was by myself for a minute. I'm like, oh, this will be easy for a second,
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'll be like second row. I'll be up there.
Okay.
Second row is perfect. First,
Yeah.
I think like the first 3 rows, you're really good.
Okay.
You still hit bottlenecks though. Like all the pros will be depending on how the cross intersects on some of the stuff. You catch up to not so good pros, right?
Yeah.
That are slower because it intersects and then they're ahead of you and they're causing bottlenecks too. They'll be in milos with us, and if they beat like the fast before we're there, we'll have to sit there behind them. So hopefully we can beat like a lot of those guys there. But
Yeah. Yeah, and we walked a lot of that course, so you kind of got to see some of the lines and
yeah,
do that.
yeah.
Did a lot of hiking. My phone said 9 miles of
That's
hiking.
what Chase said, 8
Dang.
miles or so.
Yeah.
What were we thinking?
I know. I was just like,
Dude, and up a mountain.
these guys
not like
are
flat
crazy. Made me seem fat. I was like, man, Dan, I got to work out a lot more next year to keep up with these guys.
ground. Dude, we went to the top of the mountain.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
We went around it. Went up and down, Man, you thought we were chasing after elk or something.
We were all just like, we need
Yeah.
food when we got back.
Gosh. Yeah.
So, yeah, it was pretty nuts. But that creek section is good. It looks super fun. I think I'm going to try and head down there and watch some of that first
Yeah.
thing. So hopefully I'd like to watch all of you guys start, but I don't know if I'll be able to watch all of you guys start and then still see you all
No,
down in
you
the
won't
creek
be able to
section.
see me start. By the time you see Brandon go, just head on down to the creek.
So, yeah, how long do you think it'll take? It won't take you very long to get down to the creek, I can't imagine. It looked like it was pretty early in the
I
race.
think it's pretty quick.
It's very quick. I think that's almost the first major obstacle,
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it's like our normal downhill. That's kind of what it looks like.
It
And
looked
then
like they had
kinda
a
off.
little bit different where you might actually hit the up above. Remember we were looking on the map that we got from
Oh, the $5 map? That one? Or which map?
no, the other map on the off-road.
Oh, yeah,
It
yeah.
actually looked like the downhill was beside the normal downhill, which I hope it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it's like a sketchier downhill through the trees.
It would be nice because that standard downhill does get bottlenecked. Like, you would think, like, decent riders, no bottlenecks on, like, a single track with just little switchbacks on
Yeah.
a downhill. Some people just aren't fast on downhills.
Yeah.
They just like to hug those brakes the whole time and be
Mhm.
very timid. But
Yeah. Well, that one shale rock downhill, even though that's not single
That one
downhill,
sucked.
I'd be slow down that
Yeah.
one.
that one was gnarly. That's
That's a
different.
sketchy one.
That's one I think you get hurt on if you go
Yeah.
down too fast and
Yeah.
wash out or something.
Yes.
So,
Dude, I seen a KTM guy. He flew down it.
really?
And then, he was out of control, though, is what happened. Because
Oh.
then he, finally stopped, but I was worried for him, man. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was impressive.
Did you guys walk down that, or
I did.
you?
I walked. I didn't walk the first part. I rode from the top, and then I was dropping in. I, went across one of the switchbacks. Maybe it was on the second one. And it was a pretty big rocks to get onto it. And I'm like, I'm not even going to take a chance, So I just walked right on the switchback, and then, it was easy after that. But yeah, I walked a little tiny spot
Yeah.
just because.
How about you?
I rode down into kind of dropped in, hooked right, followed that side for a bit, went through some grass, kind of 45 to the left, to the point I finally hit a switchback, and I was like, oh my gosh, I got to shake my arms out. I'm so pumped right now. And rolled into the next section as I got just passed by this dude at like Mach 12 on the left. And the rest of it was just like pointer straight down.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked out well. That was like one of the few spots that worked out well.
Oh, cool.
I made up a little bit.
Well, it's easy to go down, right? You're like,
Exactly.
You can't go up.
It's called controlled falling.
Did any of you guys hit that big circle rock on Riders Hill?
I missed that one.
You didn't even make it that far.
What?
Dude, if you saw what happened on me on that, you'd be like, what is wrong with this guy? He is horrible. Oh, I'm dead serious. I made it like 10 feet up that.
Dude,
Caleb was there.
Yeah, you should see the video Caleb got of when I went up it. I somehow made it up like halfway up that hill before I even had to like switch back. Now, granted, the switchback was pretty horrendous because I couldn't even feel my finger or my clutch lever.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I would basically just like drug the front of my bike down to a little deer trail to get up there, and then catastrophe struck. I had just gotten on there's like a little switchback, and I was trying to like hook up around it, and I accidentally like got too much traction and just like hooked my bike 12 o'clock up in the air on a tree, and it had just like smashed all the gear on the left side of my bar, and I guess the handguard mount had like fumbled with some of the wires in my starter button and must have dislodged them from the like ports that they were in. So I was just sitting there stuck on the trail. I don't know, I was like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna like, how am I gonna get out of this? I don't want to like go back down the hill and try to bump start it. Just with all that progress I had just made, I was like, I don't even know if I could do that again. I think I got lucky. So I just started whipping out the screwdriver. I was like, I'm going to fix it right here. And I just couldn't quite get it off. So I just started jerking on it. And luckily I was able to just rip the plugs right out, kind of touch them together like a little hot wire. And we were able to get on out of there.
You know what's strange is how nicely those came out.
Dude, like I put them right back in a new button. So
yeah.
They didn't come out damaged
That is
or anything.
pretty wild.
That's what I was curious. I'm like, how did they come out that nice?
I don't know. I just jerked really hard.
Man, lucky.
Whoa.
Come on, keep it PG, man.
Yeah, I never would have thought about doing that, to be honest. Granted, I think my starter button's a little bit different because it's inside of the whole like throttle housing and everything like that. It's kind of weird.
I've seen it. If you get the wires, even if you touch the wires, you can still do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I never even would have thought about that. So you guys are all getting new bikes this next year or what?
I don't think so. I think Chase is going to get one, he says, hopefully. So hopefully he'll run that TBI.
Yeah.
See how that thing
You got to let
goes.
us know when you're getting one. I'm trying to get a huge group of guys to go in and buy bikes so we can get good deals.
They give us $100 off.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Buy me a skid plate.
Yeah, right?
No, it won't. It was like about $150.
Yeah.
I don't know what skid plate you're buying.
Part of one.
Well, I guess you don't need a linkage one, so you're probably good.
A piece of
Yeah.
plastic with some bolt holes through the bottom of it. So, yeah, it's going to be... I don't know. Are you guys nervous about anything tomorrow at all or just ready to go?
I'm not yet. I was nervous in the morning, man. My stomach, I had like butterflies. When I was up there, it was.
Yeah.
Then I got tired. I felt I was going to fall asleep.
I think everybody had freaking nerve guts going on because the bathroom up there with all the riders, dude, there was a line of people trying to hit the crapper. It was pretty funny. I'm like, I need to go to the bathroom. I'm like, okay, maybe not. There's about 20 people.
Because they were wearing that climb gear and they went and got that free burrito.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, right. Yeah, FXR's deal. They're like, all right, we're going to pay a guy that looked like Climb and give him some nasty burritos. So, yeah, either that or those 509 pants are a little too snug these days.
Right, yeah.
So,
Well, Chase is a real snug, too. I got to say, Chase. I know you've been working out, doing, like, squats and whatnot. Or did you just buy smaller pants?
I bought smaller pants. The smaller your gear, the bigger you look.
Yeah,
those are 509 too, aren't they?
No, the MSR.
Oh, okay.
I go
Okay.
for the cheap deals.
Yeah.
Cheap deals. It's like $100 for a jersey and pants combo.
Oh, that's nice.
They
Yeah.
actually last, though, pretty good. They're not bad,
Yeah.
for that.
It looks
one of
pretty
the cheap
clean
ones.
too.
Yeah. Yeah, pick up a couple sets at the beginning of every year. Technically, it's I think last year's stuff, but yeah, why not?
Yeah, it
It's
doesn't
cheap.
matter.
It lasts
Get
long.
ripped, so.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, they've held up really well. I mean, from the amount of trees that we go through, yeah, I think I have like maybe 2 tears in one of my older ones, but the rest of it's held up. No offense to FXR. My FXR pants blew out pretty quick.
Yeah.
And
We'll see if mine lasts tomorrow. Brandy says I can only wear them on races.
Oh, well, then you're good.
They're all blown out first day.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think
I just-
that's a possibility with anything, though. I mean, you hit a stick in the wrong
Oh, yeah.
spot, it can happen. I mean, you had that with your Alpine Star gear, and like the first day you wore it.
Yep.
So
Dude, every boot I buy, and you know boots aren't cheap now either. Every time I buy it, it's like the first ride or second ride, something happens to it.
yeah,
Or just like one little thing. And then they last great, but yeah, it's just, man, I hate when that happens. Darn wind. There we go. I was trying to protect it because it's like blown across here.
yeah, it is. It feels pretty good though. I'm not gonna
It
lie.
feels really nice.
Yeah.
So it's starting to cool down. It was hot today. I got really sunburnt, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
Dude, I
Exactly.
turn into a lobster too, man.
Yeah.
Like first beginning of the year before I get like a sunburn in. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and convince James to do like something with Silverclass next year on the like road racing out here. I think yeah, we gotta make sure you guys are out there riding.
No, I don't want to go ride that unless if like my abilities really like go. No, I don't want to ride that. I need to ride my bike the next day.
I know I saw one of the guys go over the K-rail and he just landed his pipe right on
Gosh,
the
man.
K-rail and it was just flat underneath the bottom of it after that. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. That's gotta be expensive.
I think I might have seen that guy over here trying to hammer a dent out of his pipe. No,
Yeah.
like legitimately, like there was a guy over there, and it looked a lot like that kid, just like hammering on this pipe, trying to straighten it out a little bit.
Dude, I worry about my linkage too. You know, the pipe and the linkage just smashing into that thing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
pretty fun watching those guys, though. You know.
Yeah, that was a
yeah.
good time. That was
Yeah.
definitely interesting racing.
Yeah, it really was.
You could see at first they weren't like too into it, but the more you got into
Yeah.
it, they really wanted it, and it
Yeah.
frustrated a few people
Yeah.
when they. I mean, it was surprising too. Like a lot of the people you would think just would clean it, they got stuffed or just made mistakes.
Yeah.
Or so I mean, anyone can make one mistake, and like Brandon was saying earlier, this is a game of who can make little mistakes, and if you make one mistake, you're done for.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's not when you do make the mistake, you just don't let it be like compounded.
Yeah.
You know, because you're gonna do something, but you just don't let it just
yeah.
be like a drawn out one.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a big mental game too.
Gosh,
like when
yes.
one thing happens, it just leads to the next and the
Dude,
next.
hey,
and
like
the
when a
next.
wet log, or a log.
Yeah.
You can't all of a sudden you like don't make it over 1 or 2, and then you're scared of a little like 6-inch one.
Yeah.
You know, you're like,
Just
I'm
kills
gonna-
your confidence. Yeah.
Your
Yeah, you
confidence-
just gotta stay focused
Yeah.
and just keep a good attitude for sure.
But that's the
Yeah.
nice thing about like tomorrow's race versus today's race. Like tomorrow's race, you have a mistake, you can shake it off, you have time to recover.
Yeah. Yes.
Today it was such a high speed setup. As you fumble a mistake
It's a
and,
lot of
and,
time,
and say you do it again, now you've just killed at least 10 minutes.
and you can't do that in that little.
And yeah, on
race.
a 15 to 20 minute course, and you killed 10 minutes, and here you are finishing in 34 minutes and 17 seconds, I think.
34 minutes.
Yeah, dude, I was bad.
Sweep riders were on your tail. Right.
Technically, I saw some people in there that took 2 hours. I think it was 2 hours to finish
Really?
that. Yeah, or it was like an hour 45 or something like that.
Huh.
How do you feel going in tomorrow if after that happens? You know, you're just like, dang.
Well, one of the
You know?
guys, when we were waiting to get escorted down the mountain there, that one guy, he was like, "Oh, so what's tomorrow like?" Well, it's
Oh, I
like
felt bad
18
for
miles. I don't think I'm coming back.
Dude,
And I'm like, ooh.
he was asking us, yeah, he's like, so what do you guys, what's like tomorrow like? And we're like, well, today was really, pretty easy. It was really fast.
He was like, easy.
Dude, no, and how about, he was like, man, how about those guys that were passing, coming up the road, spitting rocks? I'm like, sorry about that. He's like, not you. I'm like, okay, it probably was. And these other two right next to us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. You just think people don't know? Like, I mean, they're coming to a hard enduro event.
You don't know, man. I didn't know. Chase didn't know when he first
You just
came.
don't know what to expect originally getting to hard enduro. It's such like a
Yeah.
little bit of a newer kind of setup. I mean, it's not huge like motocross. Like everyone sees motocross on like online on TV, on Instagram, all this. You're now seeing hard enduro in like a bigger light, but still, it's newer to a lot of these people, and
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, I ride hard trails. Oh yeah, I ride rocky sections. I'm
Yeah.
good. I could
Yep.
totally ride a hard enduro. Oh, silver, it's. I think what the way James described it is like silver's gonna push your limits, and it's gonna make you struggle, and I think some people are like, oh, that's a little bit of a challenge, and then they just overshoot their ability,
Yeah.
and they probably should have been bronze class, but here they are,
Yeah. You know what else?
looking
I
at
think
driving
happens?
home tomorrow instead.
Exactly. They're like these guys are crazy.
Yeah.
I'm out. But a lot I think happens too is it happened to me. It even happened to my kid. My kid, like Caleb, he knows about hard enduro everything, but he still didn't grasp some of the stuff that you can do to your bike that will change your whole riding abilities.
Yeah.
I didn't know a lot of it. The tires, suspension, just the the little things you can do to it, and it'll help you. Like it really makes it easier.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys are coming here and they don't have the gummy tires. They don't have that. They don't have like maybe the green spring. Maybe they're just like some crazy
Green
gearing. Yeah, green spring.
What's that?
Exactly. And this is where like you just don't know. You have no clue. And then you
Yeah.
do something like that and it's like,
I think the green spring's the least of my worries on my bike at this point.
Yeah.
just keep riding, man. You'll be
Yeah.
fine.
You'll be good.
Yeah. No. I mean, ever since Brandon and I started, basically, we just have been trying to, I guess, in a way, destroy our bikes every time we go out.
Hard enduro.
So, I don't know. It's just fun to me. Like,
Yeah.
you get into a lot of those high-speed situations, and it just seems kind of dangerous. You get into motocross and supercross, and that just doesn't jumping high, going fast. That just isn't as like. It's not in the cards for me. But
Yeah.
a hill climb or
Yeah,
finding
I think
big
the
rocks
jumping would be
or
cool if like you could do it and there was no like like
no consequences. Yeah.
Like
gosh,
snowmobiling.
darn.
Like
Yeah,
there's still
that is,
consequence.
but it's not the same.
But yeah,
it's
you
soft.
can go hit some stuff and it's soft. You
Who
can
doesn't wanna
overshoot a little
jump and
bit,
fly
and
in
it's
the
like,
air, be
yeah.
like a bird for a minute. But when
Yeah.
the ground's hard and it's the bike, and you're smashing into that triple or double that you came up short.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
the times you get hurt when
Yeah.
you come down.
It is
Yeah.
bad hurt there. It's
Yeah.
not like a minor. It's you're snapping bones and stuff a lot of
Not
times.
saying people don't get hurt doing this all the
Oh
time.
yeah, it
but,
happens. But
it's definitely seems to be a little bit safer than some of the other things. You're not moving quite as fast most of the time.
your bikes are just getting messed up.
Yeah, it's a lot less damage on you, but more damage on your bike, I think.
yeah.
So, which I mean,
at least our bikes.
yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I mean, I've definitely fallen in love with this sport, and I know Brandon has. At times when you're racing it, it can seem a little, I guess, bit of
Tomorrow,
a struggle.
it'll be
but-
like that. Tomorrow will literally be, I guarantee you're 2 hours in, 3 hours in, and it's going to be like, what am I doing? This is stupid, right?
I was like that today.
Yeah. Well, that was a different one, though. Like where it's like just, it's hard and your body's tired.
I'm fine with that. I just
That's what I'm
like,
saying, though. Like I get to that point sometimes, I'm like, this sucks for a minute. Just.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're just tired. It's still fun, don't get me wrong, but it's just
Yeah.
like that grueling, you've got to just push through it. But that's what's awesome about the sport,
Yeah.
is that's why I love it. It sucks, it's hard, it works your body mentally and physically.
yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely got some mental challenges there for
Yeah.
sure. You have to work past. You have
Yep.
to be a very driven person to do this.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for sure.
So, or just plain crazy, one of the two.
Yeah.
There are
So,
some guys out there that are just nuts
Yeah,
on this mountain, for
Yeah.
sure.
Definitely.
I don't know. It amazes me. I guess maybe I just don't have good enough lungs, but I'm always pretty winded when I come off the mountain. And some of those guys looked fresh when they came off, and I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
what?
It
It doesn't make any sense to me.
You're supposed to let the bike do the work, but I feel like my body does way more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But hey, whatever.
You guys do very much like off the bike as far as exercise and stuff like that for dirt biking, or is it just dirt biking?
I just started.
Chase is doing it now. And, he's getting look what it's doing for him.
I built yeah, what it's doing for me, it's making me worse. Thanks, Dave.
Don't worry, we'll stop. We'll stop. Poking you here sometime.
No, it'll last for at least another year or two.
It's gonna be hilarious if you pass like 90 people tomorrow and end up first, and then he's gonna be like,
dude, if you get top, I feel like from where you're coming from, if you're like in top 10, would be phenomenal. Would be
for sure,
crazy.
For sure.
Because that's like a huge comeback. There's a lot of people.
Are we talking top 10 at all silver overall?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'll be happy if I'm top 10 tomorrow. If I'm better, whatever. Top 10's is what I'm shooting for.
Yeah.
There's good riders out there. It's not, just because I won last year, it's not like that. It really is not like, oh, you boom, go do it again. I wish it was. I wish I was like that, but.
Yeah, for sure. It'd be nice.
Yeah.
But like you say, anything can happen.
Yeah.
And, I mean, any hill climb can get messed up for one person and not another. So.
Yeah.
Especially with how much this race seems like it's grown over the last year. I think there's a lot of new talent coming.
Dude, there is.
Tons of new people. And
dang, they're good too.
Yeah.
Really good.
I was hearing some mixed thoughts on this race last year from people, but it seems pretty good to me this year. So
I think it's mostly the bronze course, though.
Oh.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, silver could have been one more hard, section, whatever. But they were battling. They picked it up right before it started. They just started cutting, and the snow levels was ridiculous.
We were literally punching through snowbanks last year in spots.
Yeah.
They had to, I think, rent Silver Mountain borrowed them something.
A big old dozer.
Yep, to clear it out so we could actually get to some of the other sections.
Nice. This year seems great. So
yeah.
They're doing a phenomenal job, and I think it'll just get better and better.
Yeah. Also, it was just having to see kind of it's hard to build a course to say, hey, I want to build this for instance, a bronze rider. Think about some of us guys going out who are good riders and trying to build that course and say, oh yeah, that'd be easy to go over that log. But some of these bronze riders, being new riders, they haven't hit logs, or they haven't hit rock gardens, and so it's trying to get into that mindset of what that rider can truly handle.
Yeah.
And last year they threw it out there. They did a very good effort, and they were able to see, hey, too many bronze riders finished, and so we're gonna make it longer.
In this amount of time and whatnot.
Maybe not enough silver finished, or the gold class they finished too quickly, so they extended it out, and they're adapting, and that's any event that's constantly adapting to that, they're all in, and they're doing good.
Yeah, they're definitely putting a lot of effort into this race, and it's cool to see. It's cool that it's basically in our backyard.
Yeah.
I know, man, because it's a lot of traveling to do any of the races,
Yeah.
I'd love to do so many of them, but to have this, and gosh.
I haven't been to any of the other races, but just the way it sounds I feel like if you're gonna do one race and you're not close to any of them, this would be a really, really cool one to come to.
Definitely.
One to check the box for sure.
Yeah, a lot of people, they say that they love the terrain we got, everything, it's cool. I mean, you got the TKO, you got those other big ones, but just a different environment, mountains here and what we have. I don't know, maybe I'll just join the U.S. Hard Enduro Series next year if my sponsor would help me out.
Stop looking at me. I'm not your sponsor.
Gosh, dang, man.
Hey, we agreed. If I sponsor you, you sponsor me. So I need a new bike.
You got to do better first.
I need a new bike. So.
Yeah, he's I'm not getting any feedback here, bro.
Hey, now.
Come on.
Hey, now.
Got to be getting good podiums or doing some really crazy stuff out there.
Can I just drop down to bronze class?
Just annihilating people.
Once you crash, you got to do at least a burnout before you leave the area.
Dude, did you like their moves out here on the street enduro? So
Every time
say you get stuck on anything, throw the hands up, or just spin the tire on the log.
Yeah.
If I was telling Chase, I'm like, I'd either put my hands up on every log because I'm stuck on it, or spinning my tire.
That was wild to see Ryder go down in the same spot twice.
Oh, I know,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
that got
it
him.
didn't look very nice on the fall either.
No, it did.
Yeah.
That's
The recovery was
asphalt.
10 out of 10. So
It was, but gosh, dang, man,
Yeah.
that had to have hurt. He's pretty young though. I think he's mid-20s.
Yeah, younger guy, but still hurts just as much.
I don't. Yeah. They recovered quicker though, I think.
Well, thank you guys for coming on the podcast. It's going to be a good time tomorrow. I think you guys will do good. Just got to be safe and get some sleep tonight.
Don't
Want
do
you guys to
nothing
sleep well.
stupid.
Yeah.
Smart lines. Smooth is fast, fast is smooth.
I don't know what that means.
That's what I tell myself, at least for Desert 100. It works there, so.
Basically the same mountain.
Same, right?
Yeah.
Desert versus hard enduro.
The
same,
only
same.
same thing is going up that road is like Desert 100. So
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
dust.
Yeah.
That's it. Rocks flying in
The
your
way
face.
up there might be kind of close to Desert
That's
100.
it.
Very
That's what I
Down
was
the
Yeah.
road.
Yeah.
Gosh.
So, yeah, Brandon actually almost had to get off with his electric start this morning when I was trying to record him.
Oh, when I bumped it on accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was working too good then, and then up on the mountain, it wasn't hardly working at all. So.
Wait,
yeah,
what
ups and
happened?
downs. Oh, he just brought the camera over. I got a little nervous, you know. He was trying to film me. And
He was in
Oh,
gear.
I,
and he
I saw that. Yeah. That was
touched
good.
his bump start, so. All right, well, I think we'll stop it here. That was good.
Yeah. Thanks for having us, and thanks for shooting some videos and taking photos this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
That'll be fun to see.